Cassandra, a 23-year-old video game enthusiast, finds herself grappling with an overwhelming sense of loss. After the tragic accident that claimed her family, one moment she is engulfed in sorrow, and the next, she awakens in a breathtakingly vibrant forest known as the Whispering Woods. The air is filled with the soothing sounds of rustling leaves and melodic birdsong, each note accentuating her disorientation as she gazes in awe at the lush, emerald greenery surrounding her. Floating before her eyes is a translucent interface, an ethereal display crafted from glowing symbols and colorful stats that reveal her new role in this fantastical realm. Before she can fully absorb her surroundings, a sparkling figure flits into view. A small radiant pixie named Riza appears, her wings shimmering like a kaleidoscope of colors. With whimsical grace, Riza introduces herself as Cassandra's guide in this mesmerizing world. She explains that Cassandra has been chosen as a watcher, a title imbued with purpose, and presents her with a pair of magical dual pistols, named Starfall and Moonrise. The weapons glow faintly in her hands, and when not in use, they transform into intricate bracelets adorned with ancient runes that shimmer in the dappled sunlight, driven by a determination to understand her new reality. Cassandra begins to experiment with her extraordinary abilities. With each trigger pull, she learns to channel different elemental energies through her pistols, sending bursts of flame, frost, and ethereal energy into the air. To her astonishment, she discovers that she can manipulate time in brief moments, a skill that feels both exhilarating and surreal. Under Riza's guidance, Cassandra delves into the intricacies of magika, the world's unique magical system, embracing her newfound powers. As she ventures deeper into the forest, Cassandra encounters an array of enchanting flora and fauna. Luminescent flowers bloom around her, their petals glowing with vibrant colors that pulse gently under her touch. Floating seed pods drift through the air, producing delightful giggles that make her smile despite her grief. Yet, chaos soon shatters this tranquility when Cassandra confronts her first daunting challenge. A pack of fire wolves, their fur ablaze and eyes glowing like embers in the night. Amid the fray, adrenaline surges through her veins. During the intense battle, Cassandra is forced to retreat into a nearby cave. Realizing she's in the fire wolves' den, she must survive for several days. Using her gaming instincts and newly acquired magical skills, Cassandra creates a makeshift camp deep within the cave. She learns to use her pistols to hunt small cave-dwelling creatures and to purify water dripping from stalactites. During her time in the cave, Cassandra discovers ancient cave paintings depicting the history of the fire wolves and their connection to the magical world. She also finds remnants of previous adventurers, piecing together their stories and learning from their mistakes. As the days pass, Cassandra hones her survival skills and magical abilities. She creates rudimentary traps to keep the fire wolves at bay and practices controlling her elemental powers in the confined space. The experience proves to be a crucible, forging her into a more capable and confident watcher. On the fourth day, Cassandra finally manages her training to engage in an intense battle with the fierce wolves. She combines elemental shots from her pistols with agile dodges, and her movements are a graceful survival dance. With her watcher abilities enhancing her reflexes, she anticipates the wolves' lunges, narrowly evading their fiery attacks. The confrontation pushes her to her limits, forcing her to adapt rapidly to the fluctuating chaos of combat. Exhausted, but triumphant, Cassandra emerges from the battle, her heart racing as she presses onward through the shifting landscape. The vibrancy of the forest gives way to a more foreboding ambience, with twisted trees silhouetted against a darkening sky and an unsettling mist curling around her legs. Riza's voice cuts through the tension, warning her of the approaching edge of the lost forest, a place rumored to seep in danger and ancient secrets. As they reach the precipice of the forest, Cassandra's breath catches in her throat. She gazes upon her first sight of civilization, a quaint medieval village, cradled within a serene clearing. The rustic homes, constructed from warm timber, emit a comforting glow of light, hinting at warmth and community. As she steps out of the whispering woods, her magical pistols morph back into delicate bracelets, resting lightly against her wrists. Pulled by an undeniable sense of destiny, Cassandra prepares to embrace whatever challenges await her in this enchanting realm. Despite the heaviness of her recent loss, flickers of hope ignite within her, a chance for a fresh start in this magical world. Bidding farewell to the village from the forest's edge, she leaves them with a story that weaves mystery and wonder, stepping into the next chapter of her life. In her heart, she carries the silhouettes of her family. Against the backdrop of the setting sun, their presence forever etched in her memories, as the villagers pondered the deeper meaning of her tale and its enigmatic connection to their own lives. Cassandra emerged hesitantly from the shadowy depths of the whispering woods, her heart racing with excitement and unease as she stepped into Elder Grove. This enchanting medieval village appeared to have leaped straight from the pages of a beloved storybook. The village was a tapestry of charming thatched roof cottages, their wooden beams displaying the marks of time with a weathered resilience, lining the cobblestone streets that twisted and turned like the threads of fate woven together. Once, the marketplace had pulsed with vibrancy. Colourful stalls brimmed with goods, and the lively chatter of villagers filled the air, creating a symphony of everyday life. But now, a heavy, sombre air hung over the scene like a thick fog. As Cassandra wandered deeper into the heart of Elder Grove, she couldn't overlook the subtle yet pervasive signs of decay that spoiled its picturesque charm. The flowers and plants that should have blossomed with life now stood withering and brown, their leaves curling delicately, as if mourning the village's lost vitality. The buildings, although quaint and inviting, bore the marks of neglect. Cracks snaked across their walls, and creeping moss adhered to the stone, whispering tales of abandonment. The villagers meandered about with drawn faces, their pallid skin reflecting a fatigued worry that was etched into their very expressions. An unsettling stillness enveloped the village, broken only by the far-off whisper of the wind, which seemed to echo an unspoken warning that sent a chill down her spine. At the center of Elder Grove, the magnificent heartwood tree towered like a sentinel. Its ancient trunk was gnarled and formidable, but its drooping branches appeared weighed down by an invisible burden of sorrow. The once lush leaves glistened, with life had dulled to a sickly hue, hanging lifelessly, an echo of the village's once thriving spirit. As Cassandra continued to explore this fascinating yet troubled place, a shiver ran down her spine as she was suddenly confronted by a menacing group of wraith-like entities that materialized from the shadows, their ethereal forms swirling ominously. With dark intent, adrenaline surged through her veins as she swiftly readied her magical pistols, Starfall and Moonrise, feeling their familiar heft in her hands. Elemental energy crackled in the charged air around her, illuminating the dark corners of the square with a vibrant burst of light. The wraiths lunged with ferocity, their spectral claws reaching for her. But Cassandra moved with the swiftness of the wind. Agile and acrobatic, she leaped gracefully from rooftop to rooftop, unleashing volleys of scorching fire and biting ice. Each blast, a dazzling exhibition of her formidable power and skill. The villagers peeked fearfully from behind the safety of their doorways, their wide eyes reflecting a mix of awe and fear, as they bore witness to the fierce confrontation unfolding before them. Cassandra's pistols flared with arcane light, casting a radiant glow that pierced through the pervasive gloom of Elder Grove as she dodged and rolled with breathtaking speed, with a final thunderous blast that resonated through the village square. She obliterated the last of the wraiths, leaving behind a shimmering air, thick with residual magic, and a square marked by the intense heat of battle. Exhausted but triumphant, Cassandra sought solace in Misty's tavern, a warm, inviting haven that exuded the comforting aromas of spiced ale and freshly baked bread. The tavern's wooden beams, aglow with a soft amber light, seemed to wrap around her like a warm embrace, and the lively sounds of chatter and laughter inside provided a stark contrast to the eerie silence outside. Misty, the tavern owner, was a stout woman with kind eyes and a knowing smile that radiated warmth. She welcomed Cassandra with open arms, but as they spoke, she unveiled a chilling truth that sent a shiver coursing through Cassandra's spine. The village was ensnared by a malevolent curse, one that siphoned the life force from its inhabitants, leaving them like hollow shadows of their former selves. Despite Misty's urgent warnings to abandon the cursed village, Cassandra's heart brimmed with compassion. She felt an unbreakable bond with the people of Elder Grove, their struggles, igniting a fierce determination within her. The next morning, however, she awoke to find her clothes mysteriously missing, an unsettling vulnerability washing over her. In a flurry, Anna, a vivacious and flirtatious barmaid with a radiant smile and playful wit, enthusiastically offered her a new outfit. As Cassandra dressed, Anna's infectious energy filled the air, her laughter ringing like music as she ushered her to a full-length mirror. Cassandra gasped in disbelief at the reflection that gazed back at her. Her disheveled appearance had been transformed into something striking and formidable. The fitted deep blue tunic clung to her form, adorned with intricate silver embroidery that sparkled as if woven from starlight. The complementary leather skirt accentuated her silhouette elegantly, while sturdy thigh-high boots grounded her, readying her for the adventures that lay ahead. Her once messy hair had been artfully styled into a practical braid, shimmering with an otherworldly sheen that made her look enchanting and powerful. Anna lingered behind Cassandra, her presence crackling with energy, as a playful smirk danced across her lips. Her fingers, delicate and light as feathers, rested gently on Cassandra's shoulders, igniting a rush of warmth that cascaded through her. Like sunlight filtering through the leaves of a dense forest, their proximity felt magnetic and irresistible, pull that tethered their energies together. My, Anna purred, her breath a soft caress that tickled Cassandra's ear, reminiscent of a warm summer breeze that rustled through the trees. You clean up nicely, mistress. Those clothes suit you perfectly. She paused dramatically, a glint of mischief shimmering in her eyes like starlight. Though I must say, I preferred the view from earlier. With a wink, Anna's teasing words ignited a rush of heat to Cassandra's cheeks, an intoxicating blend of embarrassment and exhilaration swirling within her like a tempest at sea. In that fleeting moment, amidst the playful banter that hung like sweet perfume, Cassandra felt a deeper, more profound connection ignite within her. Yet, beyond Anna's flattering remarks, she absorbed the ancient wisdom, softly whispering into her consciousness from Riza, a wise and ethereal presence that seemed to float on the edges of her mind. Each revelation unfurled like the petals of a blooming flower, unveiling layers of her identity that had previously lain dormant. She learned of her unique title, the Watcher, a name that resonated with mystery and heavy responsibility. It spoke of her extraordinary perceptive abilities, skills that granted her glimpses into the unseen threads of fate, interwoven through the very fabric of Eldergrove. Flushed from Anna's flirtation, Cassandra felt herself captivated not only by her companion's alluring presence, but also by the startling shift she had undergone herself. The clouds of doubt previously darkened, her thoughts dissipated, revealing clarity as she steeled herself for the impending encounter with Elder Silas. Grasping the weight of her newfound title, a sense of urgency swelled within her, vibrant and unyielding, like a river carving its path through stubborn stone. With determination flooding her veins, she prepared to confront the enigmatic elder, her resolve as solid as the ancient trees that towered around her. A sense of purpose enveloped her like a comforting cloak, as she vowed to delve deep into the tangled origins of the curse that loomed ominously over Eldergrove. Fully aware of the gravity of her responsibility, she steeled her heart to protect its villagers from the encroaching darkness that threatened to engulf their lives, ready to face what lay ahead with unwavering courage. "Young lady, I don't have all day," the old man grumbled, peering over his wire-rimmed spectacles at the young woman who stood resolutely amid his cluttered study. The air was thick with the scent of dust, mingling with something ancient and metallic that lingered faintly in the room's corners. Cassandra met his gaze with unwavering determination, her heart pounding with the urgency of her quest. "Then you'd better start talking, Elder Silas." With an annoyed huff, Elder Silas leaned back in his well-worn chair, its wood creaking under his weight, his eyes glinting with a strange blend of mischief and wisdom. "So impatient, just like your mother," he said, the unspoken words trailings in the air like a ghost from the past. Cassandra felt the weight of those words settle heavily on her shoulders, an allusion to her mother, a woman known for her legendary beauty and enigmatic origins, who had vanished from her life in a tragic car crash when Cassandra was just a child. Confusion swirled in her mind, but she quickly pushed it aside, unwilling to get caught up in nostalgia. "I'm here for answers, not reminiscences," she stated firmly, her voice steady and resolute. The old man's expression shifted, turning somber as he prepared to share the weight of his knowledge. "The curse," he began, his voice dropping to a deep, reverberating timbre, "is as old as the forest itself. It has been lost to time, forgotten by a select few." He gestured with a bony hand toward the shelves that lined the walls, laden with dusty tomes and strange artifacts, each telling a story of its own. "But not by me." Cassandra leaned forward, her interest piqued as her apprehension gave way to curiosity. "Tell me more." Silas sighed deeply, his gaze drifting momentarily as memories danced behind his misty eyes. "Long ago, our village made a pact with a creature that dwells on the other side of the veil, a being whose motives were as dark as the shadows it inhabited. It promised us protection and prosperity in exchange for certain offerings." Her heart thudded in her chest as Cassandra interrupted, desperation edging her tone. "And what were those offerings?" With a conspiratorial lean, Silas lowered his voice to a whisper, as if fearing the very walls had ears. "The most precious thing we had, our life force. But as all greedy things do, it became ravenous, taking more than it rightfully should. The women especially have suffered the most from this insatiable hunger." Cassandra's mind whirled with the implications of his words, the ancestry of her village, the the struggles of the women she had known, and the shadow of her mother's absence all converged in a heavy cloud of realization. "How do we stop it?" she asked, her voice no more than a frightened whisper, yet radiating with resolve. Silas steepled his fingers together, his expression almost grave as he prepared to divulge the next puzzle piece. "Ah, that's where you come in, my dear. You, with your unique heritage." His eyes flickered toward a tarnished map that lay unfurled on a table nearby, the surface adorned with ancient symbols and sketches of the treacherous terrain. "There's something hidden within the depths of the lost forest, a relic from the time of the pact. It holds the key to breaking the curse." Cassandra's gaze shifted to the map, her heart racing at the possibilities. "And what of Alaric?" she pressed, remembering the young man who had ventured into danger, driven by his thirst for adventure. "The foolish boy," Silas murmured, a note of affection coloring his voice. "He ventured into the depths of the forest, looking for the artifact you must now destroy. I fear he may have uncovered more than he bargained for." He paused, tapping his chin in thought. "If you're to survive, you'll need to find him, but beware. The forest has grown more treacherous since he disappeared." A chill raced down Cassandra's spine at the thought of the lost forest. Its twisted roots and haunting shadows could swallow her whole, but a sense of purpose ignited within her. This was her chance to redeem her mother's legacy and save those still under the curse. "What do you know of Alaric?" she asked, urgency radiating. Silas's expression softened as he recalled the young man. Tall and lanky, with hair the color of a sunset, he wore makeshift armor that looked as if it had been cobbled together from remnants of old plows and pans. Cassandra envisioned him clearly, his laughter echoing in her mind, a light amidst the darkness. "And what of the relic?" she pressed on, feeling the weight of destiny pressing on her shoulders. Elder Silas reached deep into the pocket of his tattered robe, his movements deliberate. He produced a small, intricately carved amulet that shimmered in the candlelight. "This," he said, placing the artifact gently into her palm, "will protect you from the dark whispers of the forest." She felt its cool surface and the energy it emanated, an ancient power woven into its very essence. He then retrieved a delicate silver whistle, its surface glinting like a star fallen from the night sky. "This belonged to Alaric. If he's alive, it may help you find him. Be wise in its use." Cassandra cradled the whistle, the cold metal contrasting sharply with the fervor rising within her. "I'll bring him back," she promised, her gut tightening with determination. Silas nodded, his eyes reflecting the flickering candlelight that danced around them. "May the ancestors guide your steps." With the amulet now resting against her chest and the whistle safely tucked into her pocket, Cassandra stepped out into the gathering twilight. The forest loomed before her, like a wall of shadows and whispers, its dark secrets waiting to be unraveled. The curse had taken so much from her and her people, but now she grasped a flicker of hope, a mission intertwined with danger and resolve. She would find Alaric, and together they would break the curse, or she would die trying. Clutching her enchanted pistols, their surfaces shimmering with arcs of electric blue energy that crackled like a miniature storm, Cassandra stood poised at the threshold of the legendary Lost Forest. The atmosphere hummed with an eerie tension, charged with unspoken promises and lurking dangers that seemed to swirl around her as she approached the edge of the ancient woods. Every nerve ending in her body was heightened, tingling with anticipation and the thrill of the unknown. Suddenly, her sharp gaze caught sight of an anomaly that sent a jolt through her, a breathtakingly luminous tear within the fabric of reality itself. It appeared like a jagged rift, pulsating with an otherworldly brilliance. as if the boundaries of time and space had conspired to shatter and create a doorway into realms uncharted. A strange pull beckoned to her, enticing yet foreboding. With a determined breath that quivered in her chest and a heart racing with an intoxicating blend of dread and exhilaration, Cassandra stepped through the shimmering veil. On the other side, the dense thicket of the lost forest enveloped her in an ominous shadow, swallowing her whole with an oppressive darkness. The air grew thick and suffocating, imbued with an eerie stillness that wrapped around her like a shroud woven from secrets and fear. Silence reigned supreme, interrupted only by the occasional subtle rustling of unseen creatures darting through the underbrush, their movements a reminder that this place was alive, but not with the warmth of familiarity. It felt cold and hostile. This was no ordinary forest. It pulsed with treacherous magic, each gnarled tree and twisted vine alive with whispered secrets of ages past. Illusions flickered at the edges of her vision, tantalizing her with half-formed images and beckoning whispers that danced just out of reach. Shadows clung to the landscape, shifting and reshaping, while the air was thick with sinister murmurings that curled around her mind, sowing seeds of doubt and fear. Recognizing the perilous path ahead, Cassandra knew she had to fortify herself. She summoned her Watcher ability, an aura igniting around her like a beacon in the darkness. It shimmered and glowed, piercing through the fog of deception that surrounded her, sharpening her senses against the unseen dangers lurking just beyond her awareness. With the ethereal light casting away some shadows, she steeled herself for the trials that awaited her in this enchanted and perilous realm. The world shifted as her surroundings transformed. What appeared to be a serene glade revealed jagged cliffs, and what seemed like a tranquil stream morphed into a churning river of shadow. Her skill was instrumental, guiding her away from hidden traps and ambushes laid by the forest's many cunning inhabitants. As she ventured deeper into the tangled underbrush, the remains of past adventurers caught her eye. Long-forgotten skeletons lay beneath a tangle of roots and vines, their once glorious armor now corroded and dull. The oppressive darkness of the forest loomed like a suffocating shroud, its presence not just a veil over the treetops, but an insidious force that had claimed the lives of countless victims. It had seeped into the souls of those who wandered too far, twisting their essence into grotesque parodies of their former selves. Cassandra stood frozen, her heart pounding as she faced the ghastly vision. Once vibrant beings, now mere echoes of their humanity, drifted through the gloom, their eyes hollow and their forms marred by an unholy transformation. Each had dared to defy the forest's malevolent grip, and now they were ensnared in a perpetual twilight, their spirits shackled to the creeping shadows. As the wind whispered through the gnarled branches overhead, carrying distant, haunting echoes of anguish, an icy shiver raced along Cassandra's spine. It felt as though the very trees themselves were alive, breathing in tandem with the desolation that surrounded her. Yet, amidst the engulfing dread, her determination intensified, flames of resolve igniting fiercely within her core. The forest's dark history weighed heavily on her shoulders, but she recognized the urgency of her mission. She could not allow this cycle of despair to continue. She had to delve deep into the enigma of the lost forest and confront the malevolence that dwelled within. With a deep breath to steady her fluttering courage, she took a decisive step forward. The crunch of leaves beneath her feet echoed like a thunderclap in the silent gloom, each footfall forging a path into the unknown. The air grew denser as she pressed on, the shadows seeming to stretch and reach for her. Yet with each step, her spirit fortified against the encroaching dread. The forest was a labyrinth of despair, but Cassandra understood that this darkness could be pierced. She would not let the terror of the past claim her or anyone else's future. As she ventured deeper into the heart of the woods, she summoned every ounce of bravery within her, ready to confront whatever horrors awaited in the depths of the abyss. Cassandra pressed onward into the shadowy depths of the lost forest, where the air hung heavy with an unsettling and palpable silence, as if nature held its breath in anticipation. The towering trees, ancient guardians of this forsaken realm, loomed over her like sentinels, their twisted trunks and gnarled branches contorting into grotesque shapes that clawed at the murky sky above. A faint, eerie glow filtered through the thick canopy, casting fleeting shadows that danced upon the forest floor, unable to break the profound stillness that enveloped her. As she navigated through a labyrinth of gnarled roots and dense, thorny underbrush, the soft crunch of dried leaves underfoot was the only sound intruding upon the heavy silence. A reminder of her solitude in this forgotten place. Each step echoed with uncertainty, yet a fierce determination drove her forward. At last, she arrived at the very heart of the forest, a place where light seemed to fade into an all-consuming darkness, swallowing any glimmer of hope. There, starkly contrasting the pervasive gloom, stood the heartwood tree. Yet it was a mere shadow of its former glory, once a vibrant beacon of life, bursting with energy and strength. It had become an unsettling silhouette against the dim light surrounding it. The bark, once smooth and adorned with rich textures, was now twisted and decayed, oozing dark sap that glimmered ominously like oil pooling in a forgotten gutter. The leaves, which should have been vibrant green and bursting with vitality, had taken on a sickly, mottled hue, coiling around the branches like the fingers of some ancient, malevolent spirit, grasping in despair at the remnants of its former magnificence. As Cassandra drew closer, a shiver of dread skidded down her spine, the icy sensation clawing at her composure. To her astonishment, from behind the jagged roots of this blighted tree emerged a young girl, her presence radiant yet profoundly out of place amidst the surrounding decay. The girl's hair shimmered like strands of silver under the muted light, flowing down her back like a river of moonbeams. Her eyes, deep pools of sorrow and longing, held an expression that mirrored the tragic essence of the forest itself. Hope intertwined with despair. She gazed at Cassandra, her expression fraught with fear, yet flickering with a glimmer of hope, as if she had been yearning for someone to arrive and awaken the dormant magic deep within the corrupted heartwood tree. Cassandra's heart sank as she grasped the horrifying truth. The ethereal girl was shackled, heavy chains binding her to the ancient tree, her spirit seemingly intertwined with its deterioration. The once thriving heartwood, a symbol of connection between nature and the village it sheltered, had now morphed into a dark remnant of life and magic, a ghastly contrast to the beloved tree that pulsed with energy and warmth in the heart of her village. Instead, this forsaken tree had been grotesquely transformed by dark forces beyond comprehension, manifestations of a sinister power that threatened all it touched. Cassandra understood that the corruption stemmed from the malevolent presence of a fallen true vampire, a being once noble, now consumed by an insatiable thirst for power and domination. This sinister being had entwined its dark essence with the heartwood tree, siphoning the lifeblood from the surrounding village, drawing vital energy from its inhabitants and the girl herself, her essence seemingly fading as the tree withered. Their fates were intertwined in this grim tableau, each suffering from the deep-rooted affliction that corrupted the land, a manifestation of the vampire's audacious ambition to gather enough strength to defy the great goddess herself, an aspiration that sent tremors through the very fabric of reality. Compelled to rise against this looming danger, Cassandra steeled her resolve, her breath steadying as she prepared to confront the shadows of her fears. With each step toward the corrupted tree, the air grew thick and oppressive, pulsing with sinister energies that wrapped around it like a foreboding cloak, seeking to ensnare all who dared to approach. Yet, undeterred and armed with her watcher abilities and the diverse skills she had acquired throughout her perilous journey, Cassandra inhaled deeply, the scent of damp earth and decay filling her lungs. With determination blazing in her chest, she pressed forward, intent on unearthing the truth and restoring light to the forest's heart, breaking the chains binding the girl in the tree, and reclaiming the magic that once flourished in this land. Cassandra confronts the fallen true vampire in an epic battle that pushes her to her limits. The fight occurs across two realms, reality and a nightmarish dimension created by the vampire's stolen abilities. Using her corrupted magika, the vampire constantly shifts between these realms, making her nearly impossible to hit. Cassandra's watcher abilities and her ancient human pistols prove crucial in tracking and damaging the elusive foe. The battle is intense and grueling. Cassandra dodges shadowy tendrils and parries attacks from all directions. As the vampire manipulates the environment, she uses her pistols to create barriers of elemental energy, shielding herself from the vampire's onslaught. In a critical moment, Cassandra combines fire and ice shots to create a steam cloud, temporarily blinding the vampire and allowing her to land several hits. As the fight wears on, Cassandra suffers a severe wound to her side, leaving her vulnerable. In this crucial moment, Victoria, the young girl chained to the corrupted heartwood tree, breaks free of her bonds. Drawing on a hidden reservoir of strength, Victoria creates a powerful burst of pure darkness, momentarily blinding the vampire. This distraction allows Cassandra to land a decisive blow, finally defeating the corrupted being. The moment the ancient tomb of Cassandra flung open, an overwhelming force erupted from within, sucking in a dense, eerie mist before slamming shut with a heavy thud that reverberated through the clearing. Cassandra, caught off guard by the event's suddenness, felt a searing pain in her left eye. Instinctively, she pressed a strip of cloth against her eye for relief, her heart racing as she struggled to process the chaotic scene. With the immediate threat quelled, Cassandra turned her attention to Victoria, whose eyes shone with a mixture of fear and determination. Together, they set upon the monumental task of purifying the heartwood tree, a majestic being corrupted and twisted by dark forces. They stood hand in hand, channeling their pure magika into the gnarled roots and warped tree branches. The energy flowed between them, a vibrant pulse of light that seemed at odds with the tree's darkened exterior. The process was grueling, requiring an unyielding focus and commitment. They worked tirelessly for an entire week, physically exhausting themselves and delving deep into their reserves of strength and magika. As the days wore on, Cassandra couldn't help but notice how their shared experience fostered a profound bond between them. She, still grappling with the weight of her recent losses, found solace in the nurturing role that emerged naturally between her and the young girl. Cassandra tended to Victoria's wounds, carefully dressing the scrapes and bruises that marked her delicate skin, while also taking the time to soothe her emotional scars. In hushed voices, they exchanged stories of their lives, Cassandra recounting her struggles and battles, and Victoria, with wide-eyed innocence, revealing snippets of her mysterious origins tied intimately to the forest surrounding them. Victoria began to see Cassandra not just as a mentor, but as a protective figure, perhaps even a mother. In the quiet moments, when the shadows of doubt would creep in, Victoria would seek comfort in Cassandra's warm embrace, the gentle strength of the older woman providing the safety she had longed for. Their bond deepened with each passing day. Cassandra would weave intricate braids into Victoria's hair, each one accompanied by enchanting tales of brave heroines who overcame adversity, filling the air with laughter and wonder. One crisp evening, as the shadows danced around them, Victoria leaned closer to Cassandra, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm a true vampire," she revealed, her eyes shimmering with sorrow and vulnerability. The weight of her words hung in the air, thick with the gravity of her confession. With a trembling breath, she began to recount the harrowing tale of her family's murder, the night that had shattered her world and left her adrift in darkness. As she spoke, her voice quivered, and a single tear slipped down her cheek, glistening faintly in the fading light. "I was brought to this place, but it feels like I've lost my home, my purpose," she continued, her throat constricting with emotion. Victoria's heart ached with a profound sense of isolation, as if the essence of her being had been torn away. Seeing the shimmer of despair in Victoria's cerulean eyes, Cassandra instinctively wrapped her arms around her. She cradled her gently, fingers weaving through Victoria's long, silken, silver hair, which flowed like moonlight around them. Softly, she murmured soothing words, comforting, like a lullaby meant to chase away the shadows. Gradually, the tension in Victoria's body began to ease. As her sobs subsided, she nestled closer, finding solace in the warmth of Cassandra's embrace, a fleeting sanctuary amidst her tumultuous worlds. From that fateful night onward, they embarked on a journey together, unraveling the intricate tapestry of life that enveloped them. With each step, they marveled at the profound interconnection between magic and the natural world, where every whisper of the wind and rustle of leaves seemed to weave together the fabric of their existence. As they poured their hearts and souls into purifying the heartwood tree, they encountered many challenges. At times the magic would wane, flickering like a distant star, while dark creatures would emerge from the shadows, their eyes glinting with malice, testing the very limits of their resolve. Yet through it all, they stood as an unbreakable unit, their bond growing deeper with every trial they faced. After a relentless week, filled with tireless dedication and unwavering spirit, the heartwood tree finally stood revitalized before them. Its once dull leaves now shimmered in a brilliant shade of green, glowing with vitality and resonating with an almost musical quality. A radiant aura enveloped the tree, pulsing with pure, life-giving energy that chased away the shadows threatening to engulf it. At that moment, they felt a profound sense of triumph, knowing they had not only restored the heartwood tree, but also the sense of hope that had begun to flicker within their hearts. Exhausted, yet triumphantly buoyant, Cassandra and Victoria emerged from the turbulent depths of their struggles, stepping into the light with weary limbs and hearts racing from the intensity of their journey. The sunset bathed them in hues of orange and pink, illuminating their faces, which were a vivid testament to the emotional roller coaster they had just endured. Their gazes locked, and instantly, an unspoken revelation passed between them. Both women recognized that they had forged something truly extraordinary, a mother-daughter bond that transcended the ordinary realm of familial relations. This profound connection was not based solely on blood. Rather, it was a tapestry woven from the rich and sometimes painful fibers of their shared experiences. Each late-night conversation, every tear shed, and all the moments of vulnerability had nurtured this unique relationship, allowing it to blossom despite the weight of adversity. As they stood there, surrounded by the whispers of the evening breeze, they sensed that they had found the family they had each secretly yearned for, a refuge from isolation and pain, bound together by an unwavering spirit in the face of trials. Their hearts resonated with love and compassion, creating a sanctuary where both felt safe and understood. In that revelatory moment, the darkness that had once loomed over them began to retreat, replaced by a profound sense of belonging and hope for the future they would navigate together. As Cassandra and Victoria cautiously emerged from the shadowy embrace of the lost forest, a breathtaking panorama unfolds before them, bursting with vibrant colors and lively sounds that make the world beyond feel almost enchanted. Yet, despite the stunning beauty that surrounds them, a heavy weight settles in their hearts. Alric, the lost, confused child that Cassandra promised to find, has inexplicably vanished, drifting away beyond the forest's protective borders, into a realm unknown. Determined to forge ahead, the pair returns to their quaint village, its familiar sights and smells, both comforting and bittersweet. They throw themselves wholeheartedly into the community's monumental rebuilding efforts, embodying resilience that reflects in their every action. The villagers, moved by the duo's unwavering dedication, band together, pooling their resources and skills to craft a warm and welcoming cottage for Cassandra and Victoria. Its wooden beams, infused with the laughter and love of their shared moments, stand tall and strong, promising a sanctuary filled with joy. Stepping into this new chapter, Cassandra takes on the mantle of protector for the village. With fierce determination burning in her heart, she stands vigilant against any looming threats, be they the dwindling supplies that strain the community, or the haunting echoes of dark woods that seem to whisper secrets too close for comfort. Her bravery inspires the villagers who rally around her, giving her the strength to meet challenges head-on. Meanwhile, young Victoria begins to blossom into the beating heart of the communities. Her infectious laughter and playful spirit create a magnetic pull, endearing her to everyone she encounters. The villagers affectionately bestow upon her the title of the village's beloved child, finding joy in her presence and comfort in her innocence. As the seasons gracefully transition, their lives intertwine to form a rich tapestry, woven from daily routines, heartfelt connections, and shared joys that resonate through the air like whispers of home. Among these connections, Misty and Anna often find themselves irresistibly drawn back to the enchanting allure of the charming cottage, a hidden sanctuary nestled amid towering trees and fragrant wildflowers. Within its wooden walls, the atmosphere is alive with the warmth of their friendship, enveloping them like a soft, inviting blanket that shields them from the outside world. Upon entering, the cozy interior greets them with the familiar scent of pine and the lingering aroma of freshly baked goods. The flickering flames of the fireplace cast a warm golden glow, illuminating the sturdy rustic wooden beams overhead. The air is filled with their lively voices, weaving together a colorful tapestry of laughter and animated conversation that dances playfully around them. Recently, Anna has felt a newfound boldness blossom, fueled by her underlying feelings for Cassandra. With each meeting, she has begun weaving daring flirtations into their interactions, turning the atmosphere electric with a palpable tension that crackles between her and the object of her affection. Each playful exchange bolsters Anna's growing confidence. Her eyes twinkle with mischief, alive with the thrill of the chase as she navigates this uncharted territory of desire. Meanwhile, Misty, ever the spirited observer and a fountain of playful energy, delights in her role as the jester amidst this budding romance. She can't help but tease Anna, light-heartedly poking fun at her friend's infatuation. Yet beneath her jibes lies a gentle yet firm push, encouraging Anna to balance her exuberant advances with thoughtfulness and care. This charming dynamic. Among the trio, Misty's playful banter, Anna's daring flirtations, and Cassandra's enchanting presence creates a delightful interplay. Each moment spent together deepens the ties of friendship while igniting the spark of budding romance, filling the heart of the cottage with an enchanting vivacity that resonates long after the laughter fades, echoing in the affection that binds them all amidst the vibrant tapestry of connections and the blossoming friendships that envelop them. Cassandra and Victoria are not simply building a place they can call home. They are thoughtfully cultivating a future that overflows with hope and love. Together, they pour their hearts into transforming their charming cottage into a true sanctuary, where the warmth of family ties thrives and the soft, reassuring whispers of a brighter tomorrow float through the air like a radiant beacon, illuminating their path and guiding them forward. Every nook and cranny of their home is infused with a profound sense of belonging, as echoes of laughter and cherished moments intertwine within the cozy walls, weaving a rich tapestry of memories. The inviting aroma of home-cooked meals greets visitors at the door, while the carefully curated decor reflects their unique personalities and shared dreams. Sunlight streams through the stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on the wooden floor, each ray depicting joy and serenity. In this haven, friends and family gather to celebrate life's milestones and solace in times of need, creating an inviting oasis that welcomes all who enter. The garden blooms alongside their friendships, vibrant flowers swaying gently in the breeze, each petal a testament to the love and care they invest in both their home and their relationships. Here, amidst the laughter and the warmth, Cassandra and Victoria are not just nurturing a home, they are building a legacy of love that will endure and inspire as they journey together through life. Late one fateful night, as the stars hung like distant diamonds in the sky, a thunderous crash shattered the tranquility that blanketed the peaceful village of Elder Grove. The sound reverberated through the stillness, shaking the very foundations of sleep itself, and jolting Cassandra awake from her swirling dreams. Her heart raced uncontrollably, each throb echoing the chilling tension that hung heavily in the air like a thick fog, wrapping around her like a suffocating cloak. An instinctual urgency surged within her. It was a primal force, compelling her to leap to her feet, adrenaline fueling her movements as she rushed toward her beloved daughter, Victoria. She hurried down the dimly lit hallway, where the shadows crept along the walls like ominous specters, flickering in the faint light as her pulse thudded in her ears, a relentless drumbeat of dread that matched her quickening pace. Pushing open the door to the girlish room, she was greeted by a soft, warm glow emanating from the bedside lamp, casting gentle light across the pastel walls, decorated with whimsical drawings and playful patterns. The comforting scent of lavender still lingered in the air, a remnant of the bedtime ritual they cherished. There, nestled under a soft, frilly blanket, lay Victoria. Her delicate features were framed by tousled curls, serene in the gentle glow, her chest rising and falling rhythmically as she remained completely immersed in a deep, peaceful slumber. In that moment, time seemed to freeze, and the chaos beyond. The walls faded into a distant memory, a stark contrast to her daughter's blissful tranquility. Unbeknownst to Victoria, the world outside was teetering on the brink of chaos, a tumultuous storm brewing just beyond their sanctuary. yet inside. This room, the tranquility wrapped around them like a precious shield, protective and fragile, clad in a flowing, diaphanous crimson nightgown that cascaded around her like liquid silk. Cassandra's silhouette took on an almost spectral quality, merging seamlessly with the dimly lit ambience of the room. The fabric, delicate and translucent, clung to her form in a way that hinted at the curves beneath, while billowing out gracefully with each of her subtle movements. Her golden locks, resembling strands of sunlight, tumbled down in wild, untamed waves that cascaded to her hips, catching the breeze that whispered through the slightly ajar window. The chill of the night air intertwined with the warmth of her surroundings, sending delicate shivers of anticipation that danced along her skin. The flickering candlelight cast a soft, warm glow, highlighting the contours of her determined features and creating enchanting shadows that flickered across the walls like memories of forgotten dreams. With fierce concentration etched onto her delicate brow, Cassandra stood poised, her heart racing in rhythm with the pulse of the night, as if answering her silent call. Her enchanted guns materialized into her grasp, their sleek metallic surfaces glinting ominously in the candlelight. The guns seemed to hum with an energy all their own, their presence both striking and powerful, exuding a sense of purpose and readiness. In that charged atmosphere, she prepared to confront whatever challenges the night had in store, driven by an unyielding resolve that flickered as brightly as the flames around her. With cautious determination, she sprinted toward the heart of the chaos, the distant echoes of panic gnawing at her resolve like a relentless tide. Each light-footed step of her delicate, bare feet struck the uneven cobblestones with a soft patter, resonating through the narrow, winding streets that twisted like a labyrinth around her. The fading sunlight cast elongated shadows, flickerings, ominously against the weathered walls of the quaint village. Her heart thundered in her chest, each beat a reminder of the urgency of the moment. She could feel her breath quickening, a mix of adrenaline and fear fueling her movements as she called out to her fellow villagers, her voice rising above the clamor. It carried a blend of authority and urgency, cutting through the mounting tension like a clear bell in a fog. "Stay indoors," she urged, her tone resolute yet laced with a palpable concern. Her eyes darted from one doorway to the next, pleading with her neighbors to heed her warning. "Lock your doors. Seek refuge from whatever lurks in the shadows," she implored, her heart aching at the thought of the unseen threat hovering ominously just beyond their line of sight, poised to strike and bring chaos to their tranquil lives. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily upon her shoulders, propelling her forward in a race against time and fear. As Cassandra drew closer to the village fountain, the granite surface gleamed under the haunting light of the full moon, mirroring the polished depths of obsidian. The cool night air carried a palpable tension, and she felt a sharp intake of breath catch in her throat, her heart racing as her eyes fell upon a figure languidly sprawled at the fountain's foot. The remnants of a once resplendent gown draped around the woman like a ghostly whisper, now reduced to tattered fragments that clung to her in morose surrender. The fabric, heavy with shadows, seemed to echo the grandeur of a bygone era, hinting at opulence long lost. Before Cassandra lay a woman, seemingly woven from the very fabric of a haunting tale, evoking both allure and dread. Her presence was at once ethereal and foreboding. Cascading waves of deep crimson hair surrounded the figure like flowing rivers of molten lava, shimmering with an otherworldly glow in the lunar illumination. Each strand danced gently, as if imbued with a flicker of life, flickering and quivering in the stillness of the night. The air was thick with a cloying scent that wrapped around Cassandra's senses like an ominous shroud. Metallic notes of iron mingled with the coppery tang of blood, creating a visceral aroma that gripped her with a sinister embrace, sending a chilling tremor racing down her spine. The atmosphere pulsed with an enigmatic energy, a disquieting mystery that beckoned yet unsettled her deeply. It felt as if the night itself whispered secrets of the cursed spectre before her, telling tales of sorrow and loss that echoed through the very stones of the village. For a fleeting moment, time stood still, and Cassandra found herself caught in the web of the unknown, compelled to uncover the truth behind the woman who lay ensconced in shadows, forever intertwined with the fate of the fountain. As Cassandra approached, a knot of dread formed in her stomach. She quickly realized that the woman's shredded clothing partially obscured a pair of magnificent dragon wings, their iridescent scales reflecting the moonlight like shards of glass. The sight was both breathtaking and terrifying. It was as if a myth had crossed into the realm of reality, steeling herself against the visceral shock and horror threatening to wash over her. Cassandra took a deep breath and scanned her surroundings. As Cassandra approaches, she's suddenly attacked from behind. Spinning around, she feels pain and warmth flowing down her back. Enraged, she finds herself surrounded by dark wraiths, their ethereal forms twisting and writhing in the moonlight. Without hesitation, Cassandra springs into action, her magical guns blazing with elemental fury. She unleashes a barrage of fiery shots, each one finding its mark and causing the wraiths to shriek in agony. The battle intensifies as more wraiths materialize from the shadows. Cassandra deftly dodges their spectral claws, her movements a graceful dance of survival. She combines her gunplay with acrobatic maneuvers, leaping and rolling to avoid their attacks while returning fire. Her ice shots freeze several wraiths in place, shattering them with well-placed follow-up shots. A cloaked man appears, demanding, "Cassandra, hand over that thing." She refuses, her voice steady. Despite the chaos around her, the man summons more wraiths, and Cassandra finds herself facing a veritable army of dark entities. Undeterred, she channels her watcher abilities, her left eye glowing with an otherworldly light. This enhanced perception allows her to anticipate the wraith's movements, giving her a crucial edge in the fight. Cassandra creates a whirlwind of elemental energy around herself, combining fire and lightning to form a protective barrier. She uses this moment of respite to reload her guns with specialized ammunition, preparing for the next wave of attacks. The cloaked man, growing impatient, joins the fray himself. He attacks Cassandra with dark magika, sending her flying into the fountain. As she emerges, her nightgown now fully revealing, she defiantly faces the man. Their duel is intense, with Cassandra's elemental shots clashing against the man's shadow-based attacks. The air crackles with magical energy as they trade blows, neither willing to give ground. Suddenly, a searing pain runs through Cassandra's left eye, which shifts to blue with a spell formation in its pupil. This unexpected surge of power allows her to open a dark rift, catching the cloaked man off guard. He vanishes into the rift, but not before Cassandra lands a final, powerful shot that leaves him reeling. Exhausted but victorious, Cassandra surveys the aftermath of the battle. The village square bears the scars of their fierce confrontation, with scorch marks and ice formations, marking the intensity of the fight. Ensuring it was safe, she turned her attention back to the injured stranger. The villagers, drawn by curiosity, yet held back by fear, began to gather hesitantly around the fountain. Their wide eyes mirrored a mix of fascination and dread, but, amidst the trepidation, a flicker of unity sparked in Cassandra's heart. Driven by a profound sense of purpose, she rallied her fellow villagers. Together, they formed a circle of strength and compassion, gently lifting the enigmatic dragon woman and carrying her away from the chaos of the night. They transported her to the sanctuary of Cassandra's home, where the warmth of hearth and hope mingled with the chill of the evening. As they laid the woman upon a makeshift bed, the grim reality of their situation hung heavily in the air, yet there was an undeniable sense of determination among them, a collective yearning for healing amid the chaos that had unraveled their once peaceful lives. After the others had departed, leaving a palpable silence in their wake, Cassandra sank to her knees beside the injured woman, focusing intently on the task before her. The full moonlight cast a warm, pale blue across the landscape, illuminating the dragon woman's strikingly beautiful features, high cheekbones, delicate yet powerful jawline, and warm molten eyes that seemed to hold secrets of the ages. As Cassandra carefully tended to the wounds, her fingers moved with deliberate, gentle precision, cleansing and bandaging each injury with utmost care. The dim glimmer of the dragon woman's scales caught the light, creating an ethereal shimmer that danced across her sinuous form. Each delicate scar appeared to tell a story of strength and grace, captivating Cassandra's attention and drawing her deeper into a reluctant admiration. As she cleaned the raw edges of the wounds, Cassandra was struck by a sudden, unexpected rush of feeling, a warmth blossoming just beneath her skin, curling quietly around her heart like a tendril of smoke. She found herself lost in thought, reflecting on her friend Anna's playful, flirtatious spirit and how it had sparked something within her, a curiosity that extended beyond mere aesthetic appreciation. It was as if Anna's vivacity had unearthed a dormant yearning, an attraction that pushed the boundaries of her understanding. This unusual encounter felt charged, a compelling mix of intrigue and longing swirling in her mind. As she continued to work, each soft brush of her fingertips against the dragon woman's wounded skin felt more intimate than she had anticipated, igniting a dance of emotions that pulled her closer to a realm of feelings she had yet to fully acknowledge. The reality of the moment settled on her like a heavy cloak. The dragon woman's surprising presence in their village stirred questions that teased at the edges of Cassandra's consciousness, urging her to explore this enigmatic connection. Caught in this whirlwind of newfound sensations, she wrestled with the layers of her attraction, yearning to indulge in the complexity of her feelings while pondering the mysteries of the dragon woman's arrival and purpose. For several transformative months, Cassandra and Victoria are deeply immersed in the arduous and delicate task of nurturing the injured dragon woman, Lyrailth. Once a breathtaking embodiment of vibrancy and ethereal grace, Lyrailth now languishes beneath their care, her condition a stark reminder of the battles she has faced. Her once lustrous skin, which had shimmered with the iridescent hues of polished gemstones, has now dulled to a muted sheen, whispering the silent tales of her harrowing past. The regal wings that once soared majestically against the horizon now lie tattered and ragged, marred by the fierce scars of relentless battles that have irrevocably altered her essence. As each dawn breaks with the gentle light of morning, the two women engage in a solemn and nurturing ritual. They meticulously prepare healing salves, crafted from a fragrant blend of herbs, roots, and blossoms that flourish in the lush, verdant forests surrounding their modest home. The air becomes infused with the earthy scents of crushed leaves and the sweet floral notes of blossoms. As they blend these natural remedies with unwavering devotion, each ingredient is chosen carefully, reflecting their commitment to restoring Lyrailth to her former glory. In the early days of Lyrailth's recovery, the haunting shadow of her injuries, looms large, creating an atmosphere heavy with an unspoken sorrow. She drifts in and out of consciousness, her breath shallow and labored, each inhalation a painful reminder of her turbulent past. The sympathy and compassion that cascade from Cassandra and Victoria are palpable. It tugs at their hearts as they witness the turmoil embedded within her fragile form. Their efforts during this tumultuous stage are relentless, marked by countless hours of vigilant care and quiet prayers for her healing. Yet, as time flows on like a gentle river, the bond between Cassandra and Lyrailth begins to take on a life of its own, transforming and deepening with an intensity neither could have foreseen. Cassandra's gentle touch, imbued with nurturing warmth and kindness, becomes a soothing balm against not only Lyrailth's physical suffering, but also her emotionally fractured spirit. As she tenderly brushes a damp cloth against Lyrailth's brow, her caress embodies a promise of safety and healing, a heartfelt offering that creates a bridge of trust and understanding between the wounded dragon and her devoted guardians. The atmosphere around them shifts gradually, becoming infused with a quiet hope that nourishes Lyrailth's spirit. As the days meld into weeks, she begins to unfurl like the first petals of spring, her once hidden resilience slowly revealing itself to the world. It mirrors the unspoken bond that grows ever stronger in the precious moments they share. Moments filled with deep connection, shared laughter, and silent understanding. The journey of healing is not just physical, but profoundly transformative, knitting together their fates in a tapestry of compassion and kinship that transcends their differences. The quiet moments they share are imbued with almost sacred tranquility. The rustle of leaves sways rhythmically in the cool breeze. At the same time, sunbeams filter through the leafy canopy above, casting gentle dapples of light that dance across their faces. As evenings descend, the fire crackles and sparks with life, wrapping them in warmth and a protective sense of safety. Initially, Lyrailth remains distant, her eyes reflecting a myriad of emotions, hinting at the ghosts of her fierce past. Yet, through Cassandra's unwavering patience and the soothing cadence of her voice, trust begins to blossom between them, like the first flowers blooming in spring. At first, Victoria hesitates, her heart racing with a mix of trepidation and curiosity as she stands on the threshold of an extraordinary relationship. The prospect of welcoming such a formidable and enigmatic being into her life fills her with uncertainty. Lyrailth, the dragon woman, commands attention with her majestic presence. Her skin glimmers like polished silver under the soft glow of the moon, each facet reflecting an ethereal light that seems to stir the air around them. There's an undeniable allure in her otherworldly grace that captivates and intimidates Victoria. As days turn into weeks, Victoria's perspective gradually shifts, reshaped by the gentle strength and wisdom that Lyrailth exudes. With each interaction, the dragon woman slowly unveils layers of her personality, revealing a nurturing spirit hidden beneath her formidable exterior. Instead of viewing Lyrailth solely as a powerful entity to be feared or revered, Victoria begins to see her as a maternal figure, someone who provides unwavering support and understanding. In the moments they share, Lyrailth becomes a beacon of guidance for Victoria, her voice resonating with compassion, an insight piercing the solitude of Victoria's yearning heart. Their bond is rich and textured, each encounter weaving a tapestry filled with lessons learned and emotional exploration. Victoria finds solace in Lyrailth's gentle demeanor, her heart gradually healing as the dragon woman offers the nurturing presence that Victoria's fractured family ties failed to provide. Together, they embark on a journey of discovery where Lyrailth's profound wisdom aids Victoria in navigating the tumultuous landscape of her emotions and the complexities of the world around her. With every shared story and every moment of vulnerability, Victoria feels empowered, her spirit lifting as she learns to embrace not only the magic of Lyrailth's existence, but also the strength within herself. Together, they engage in shared laughter, swap stories, and reveal moments of vulnerability, crafting a newfound familial connection rooted in love, acceptance, and mutual respect. As Lyrailth's recovery unfolds, their emotional exchanges weave into tender gestures that elevate their bond to transcendent heights. Cassandra's feelings for Lyrailth deepen profoundly, a vibrant bloom nourished by the enchanting allure of Lyrailth's otherworldly beauty and the intricate complexities that swirl beneath her ethereal surface. Beneath the vast expanse of starlit skies, where countless twinkling stars cast their soft glow upon them, they engage in hushed conversations that weave a tapestry of intimacy and trust. The cool, crisp night air wraps around them like a gentle embrace, their breaths intertwining as they share secrets and dreams, each word unspooling like delicate silk thread in the quiet darkness. With every exchange glance and intimate confession, they unravel the hidden layers of their hearts, revealing joys and vulnerabilities that bind them closer together. One fateful night, as the full moon rises in the sky, illuminating the landscape with its ethereal silvery light, the world around them transforms into a magical realm. The moon's gentle glow envelops the surroundings, casting intricate shadows that dance playfully across the earth, creating an enchanting tableau filled with light and dark. In this captivating ambience, Cassandra feels a surge of determination building within her, fueled by the trials she has bravely faced on behalf of her new family. Each challenge has deepened her understanding of love and illuminated the hidden facets of her own identity. With courage coursing through her veins, she prepares to confess her profound feelings for Lyrailth. The night air is laden with unspoken emotions, charged with a palpable energy that feels almost mischievous, wrapping around them like an invisible spell. On a serene moonlit night, the pale glow of the moon spilled generously into the room, casting soft silvery shadows that danced playfully across the walls. Cassandra, clad in a delicate sheer nightgown that seemed to flutter around her like wisps of cloud, padded into Lyrailth's sanctuary, her heart racing with excitement and nervous anticipation. The cool night air enveloped her, heightening her emotions as she approached Lyrailth, the figure before she illuminated in an ethereal light that made her appear almost otherworldly. Lyrailth sat by the window, her long hair cascading down her back like a silk waterfall, catching the moonlight and glimmering softly. When she turned her gaze towards Cassandra, her eyes sparkled with a gentle curiosity and warmth that made Cassandra's heart soar and tremble simultaneously. Taking a moment to steady her breath, Cassandra began to pour out her heart, her voice barely above a whisper. Each word was infused with the raw vulnerability of her longing, creating a tapestry of emotion that wrapped around them both. As she spoke, tears glistened in their eyes, reflecting the stars that twinkled overhead and the depth of their unspoken connection. As Cassandra's confessions filled the air with palpable tension, she watched the transformation on Lyrailth's face. A dance from surprise to realization, the flicker of emotions revealed a sacred understanding shared between them, one that had been waiting to blossom. With a gentle smile, Lyrailth confessed her burgeoning feelings, igniting a fire of hope that surged through Cassandra's chest, as if awakening a part of her soul that had long been dormant. The moment hung suspended, in time, rich with potential and desire. Without hesitation, they leaned toward each other, their lips meeting in a tender yet passionate kiss that spoke volumes of promises made in the quiet corners of their hearts and dreams woven into the fabric of their lives. They melted into each other, feeling the warmth of their bodies entwined like the delicate branches of two blooming trees reaching toward the stars. Nestled together in bed for the very first time, the world outside faded into a distant whisper, leaving them cocooned in the cocoon of their shared intimacy. As the initial excitement of their connection settled, they began to murmur gentle whispers and soft laughter, discussing how to share the news with Victoria. A mixture of excitement and trepidation coursed through them as they considered what it would mean to expand their family. They envisioned a special family dinner where love and laughter would envelop the table like a warm embrace, painting the space with their shared joy as they unveiled their new dynamic. The thought of this joyous occasion filled them with a sense of magic, and they crafted a plan that felt as thrilling as the moonlit night itself. A careful blend of hope and a desire for acceptance. As the first light of dawn broke softly above the horizon, painting the sky in stunning hues of lavender and gold, the two remained nestled closely together, wrapped in each other's warmth and the promise of a new beginning. They gazed into one another's eyes, communicating a silent vow of love, acceptance, and joy. This dawn marked not just the start of a new day, but the turning of a page toward a chapter filled with endless possibilities. A breathtaking journey of love and togetherness. As the first light of dawn spills its golden hues across the sleepy village, it transforms the landscape into a masterpiece, painting the thatched rooftops and dew-kissed fields with warmth and glow. In the quiet of this serene morning, young Victoria stirs awake, her heart fluttering with anticipation. Today holds a promise of adventure and love, brimming with possibilities that dance in her thoughts, like the playful rays of the sun filtering through her window, with soft footsteps that barely disturb the aged wooden floorboards beneath her. She wanders through the hushed corridors of her home. The familiar scent of polished wood mingles with a gentle hint of lavender, a lingering reminder of her mother's soothing presence. As she moves about, a deep sense of comfort envelops her, yet an unusual stillness draws her attention, emanating from the room of her older sister, Cassandra. This space usually buzzes with laughter, music, and spirited conversation. Intrigued and slightly apprehensive, Victoria gently nudges the door open. Her breath catches in her throat as an enchanting scene unfolds before her. Bathed in the delicate embrace of the morning's soft light, she sees Cassandra and Lyrailth, two figures entwined in a cocoon of restful slumber. It's a picturesque tableau. The delicate curve of Cassandra's head nestled against the firm and gentle chest of Lyrailth, their limbs intertwined like vines in an ancient garden, suggesting warmth and a profound affection that speaks to the depths of their souls. Victoria's heart swells, caught in a kaleidoscope of emotions, surprise, joy, and a deep, almost sacred understanding of the beautiful connection unfolding before her. Time seems to freeze as she stands there, a radiant smile blossoming on her face, reflecting the pure love she feels for both women. In that precious, suspended moment, Cassandra stirs, her sleepy gaze meeting Victoria's wide, astonished eyes. A silent yet rich language of love and acceptance passes between them, unspoken, yet deeply felt, a connection that transcends words. Breaking the tranquil silence, Victoria's voice emerges like a soft melody, light and playful, Do I have two moms now? The question hangs in the air, filled with innocence and sweet possibility, as if the very morning itself pauses to contemplate the joy of their new family dynamic. This dynamic promises warmth and unconditional love. As the days unfurl as petals bloom, Lyrailth begins to weave herself into the fabric of village life. Flourishing in her newfound role as a skilled herbalist, her deep knowledge of medicinal plants and the healing arts quickly earns her the admiration of the villagers, who come to rely on her expertise whenever ailments or concerns arise. Each new day finds her immersed in the vibrant world of her herb garden, an enchanting sanctuary, bursting with lush greens, fragrant blossoms, and a riot of colourful wildflowers that sway gently in the breeze. With utmost care and precision, she concocts remedies, her deft fingers delicately mixing dried herbs and roots, creating tinctures that glimmer under the sunlight, each one whispering promises of relief and healing to those in need. In her role, Lyrailth forms strong friendships with the other village wives, especially Misty and Anna. Misty, with her eyes full of mischief, regales the group with spirited tales from her youth, narrating stories of valor and adventure that ignite the imagination. Anna, ever the flirt, brings laughter and a playful teasing that sends everyone into giggles, driving them all a little crazy. Still, the warmth of their interactions solidifies the bonds of friendship, each heart embracing Lyrailth as one of their own. Amidst the laughter, shared secrets, and the rich tapestry of stories, Victoria thrives in her now expanded family. Her spirit blossoms under the nurturing care of Lyrailth, Cassandra, and the other village women. Eagerly, she trails behind Lyrailth on herb-gathering excursions, her curious mind absorbing a wealth of knowledge about the vibrant plants and their myriad uses in healing. Each excursion becomes an adventure filled with exploration. She learns to identify the bright petals of calendula, the silvery leaves of sage, and the sweet, calming fragrance of chamomile that lingers in the air. Under the loving guidance of these women, her world transforms into a kaleidoscope of learning, love, and unbreakable bonds. Misty enchants her with captivating tales from her past, weaving stories of bravery and magical quests that send excitement through Victoria's veins. Meanwhile, Anna teaches her the art of witty banter, encouraging her to embrace laughter as a vital part of life and enriching her spirit with the joy of companionship. Each day feels like a new page in the unfolding story of her life, vibrant with the deep hues of love, laughter, and discovery. In these moments, Victoria learns not only about plants and remedies, but about the true essence of family, the strength of community, and the beauty of the connections that bind them all together in the gentle embrace of their village life. In the soft glow of candlelight, Cassandra and Lyrailth find themselves alone in their bedroom, the air thick with anticipation and unspoken desire. Lyrailth's skin shimmer like starlight as Cassandra's fingers trace their intricate patterns, sending shivers down the dragon woman's spine. Their eyes lock, a silent conversation of love and longing passing between them. As they lean in for a kiss, their lips meet with a passion that ignites like wildfire. Cassandra's hands tangle in Lyrailth's silken, crimson hair, while Lyrailth's wings unfurl, enveloping them in a cocoon of warmth and protection. Their bodies press together, and their curves fit perfectly as if sculpted for one another. Whispered endearments and soft moans fill the air as they explore each other with tender touches and fervent kisses. Just as their passion reaches its crescendo, a bone-chilling scream pierces the night, shattering their intimate moment. Cassandra and Lyrailth spring apart, hearts racing for a different reason now. They exchange a look of determination, their earlier ardor transforming into a fierce resolve to protect their home and loved ones. With ease, they run out in their nightgowns. Cassandra's hands fly over her enchanted pistols, checking the magical charges, while Lyrailth's skin ripples into scales, forming a natural armor. The dragon woman's eyes glow with an inner fire, ready to unleash her formidable powers. As they burst out of their home, the village is in chaos. Shadowy figures dart between buildings, their forms twisting unnaturally in the moonlight. Villagers run screaming. Some have already fallen victim to the mysterious attackers. Cassandra's enhanced vision catches sight of dark tendrils snaking around the ankles of fleeing villagers, dragging them into the shadows. Without hesitation, Cassandra and Lyrailth launch into action. Cassandra's pistols blaze with elemental fury, each shot precisely aimed to dispel the shadow creatures. Fire and ice dance from her fingertips, creating barriers to protect the villagers and illuminating the darkness to reveal their foes. Lyrailth takes to the sky, her powerful wings, creating gusts that blow away the encroaching shadows. She breathes streams of searing flames, incinerating the dark entities and creating a protective perimeter around the village center. Her draconic roar echoes through the night, a rallying cry that bolsters the courage of the terrified villagers. As the battle intensifies, Cassandra and Lyrailth's teamwork shines. They move perfectly synchronously, covering each other's blind spots and amplifying their strengths. Cassandra's agility and precision complement Lyrailth's raw power and aerial advantage. When Cassandra is surrounded, Lyrailth swoops down, tail lashing out to clear a path. In turn, Cassandra's well-placed shots take out shadow creatures attempting to flank Lyrailth in the air. Their connection goes beyond mere physical coordination. They communicate with glances and subtle gestures, anticipating each other's moves with an almost supernatural awareness. It's as if their earlier intimacy has forged a deeper bond, allowing them to fight as one formidable unit. As dawn breaks, the shadow creatures begin to retreat. Cassandra and Lyrailth stand back to back, panting heavily but victorious. The village is battered but saved, thanks to their combined efforts. As the adrenaline of battle fades, they turn to each other, eyes reflecting relief, love, and a hint of passion interrupted earlier. Amidst the aftermath of chaos, they share a tender embrace, their earlier ardor tempered by the night's events, but burning no less brightly. They know that together they can face any challenge that comes their way, and their love is a force as powerful as any magic or dragon's flame. As they begin to help the shaken villagers and assess the damage, Cassandra and Lyrailth silently vow to uncover the source of this attack. They exchange a determined look, knowing that this is just the beginning of a new adventure, one they'll face side by side as lovers and protectors of their home. As the first light of dawn breaks over the horizon, a soft golden glow spills across the village, casting long shadows that stretch like fingers, pursuing the retreating night. Cassandra and Lyrailth stand at the edge of this once peaceful community, their hearts heavy with the weight of recent events. The attack that had shattered their tranquility, now a fresh wound in the fabric of their lives. With determination etched on their faces, they set out on their investigation, the air around them thick with an undercurrent of tension and urgency. Their journey leads them deep into the enigmatic lost forest, where ancient trees tower overhead like sentinels, their gnarled branches twisting together to form a canopy that filters the morning light into eerie patterns. The forest is alive with sounds, whispers of leaves rustling in the breeze, the distant chirping of unseen creatures, and the soft crunch of underbrush beneath their feet. Every step takes them further away from the village's safety, into the heart of the unknown. After hours of navigating the dense foliage and treacherous ravines, Cassandra and Lyrailth finally stumble upon a clearing, a small oasis amidst the wilderness. Here, hidden beneath a blanket of tangled vines and velvety moss, lie the crumbling remains of what appears to be an ancient temple. The structure, though partially reclaimed by nature, retains an air of majesty, its weathered stone walls adorned with intricate carvings that seem to tell stories of long-forgotten epochs. The details of these carvings, softened by time yet still vibrant, depict celestial beings and scenes of creation, hinting at the temple's former glory. As they cautiously step into the ruins, the air grows thick and heavy, charged with an unnameable presence that sends a shiver down Cassandra's spine. Her enhanced vision, a twilight gift of her lineage, picks up faint symbols glowing faintly among the crumbling walls, pulsing with an ethereal blue light that feels almost alive. Lyrailth, her draconic instincts on high alert, can feel the latent magic seeping from the very stones beneath their feet, a potent force waiting to be awakened. In the heart of the temple, they uncover a massive stone tablet, its surface covered in cryptic inscriptions, the language foreign, yet oddly familiar. As Lyrailth's fingers glide over the ancient text, her breath catches in her throat. The writings detail the ark from Lady Morgana's legend, not merely a vessel, but a nexus of immense magical power. As she reads further, her heart races at the ominous implications. The inscriptions speak of a dark force that has long sought to control the ark's energy, a force that may be behind the recent shadow creature attacks that have befallen their village. Just as they process their discoveries, a blinding flash of light erupts, casting them momentarily into darkness. When their vision clears, they find themselves face to face with an enigmatic figure emanating a shimmering, ethereal glow. He introduces himself as Zephyr, claiming to be one of the last survivors of the Ark. His appearance defies description. Eyes shifting in color like the aurora borealis, skin that ripples with barely contained energy, and an aura that feels electric, alive with possibilities. Zephyr's shocking revelations rattle Cassandra to her core. He speaks of her lineage, tracing it back to the original inhabitants of the Ark, revealing that her magical abilities are not merely accidents or coincidences, but the result of a deep-rooted heritage. Each word reverberates within her, unearthing buried truths about her identity and place within this mystical realm. As this new understanding washes over her, confusion and wonder intertwine in her mind. Lyrailth watches with an increasingly troubled expression. Elements of Zephyr's tale resonate with her past, clues that hint at a complex web of history connecting all three of them. Her dragon eyes flash with concern and determination as the full scope of the danger becomes painfully clear. They are standing at the brink of something far greater than themselves. Meanwhile, in the village, Victoria experiences an unanticipated surge of power that shakes her to the core. Objects surrounding her begin to levitate, defying the laws of gravity, as the air crackles with raw magical energy. Misty and Anna, with her then, can only watch in awe and apprehension as a radiant light glows deep within the young girl's eyes. This unexpected manifestation of Victoria's latent abilities raises urgent questions about her true nature and the potential perils that await her. As Cassandra and Lyrailth prepare to leave the ruins, clutching the burden of their newfound knowledge, Zephyr imparts one final, chilling warning. A powerful enemy from Lyrailth's past a being of unimaginable magical prowess that once sought to control the Ark's power, has begun to stir from a long slumber. The awakening of this entity poses a grave threat, not just to their village, but to the delicate balance of the magical landscape. Their hearts heavy with the weight of their discoveries, Cassandra and Lyrailth make their way back through the forest, urgency propelling them forward. They know they must prepare for an impending conflict that will challenge the limits of their love, the strength of their newfound family, and ultimately the fate of their world. As they emerge from the forest, the setting sun casts an ominous, blood-red hue across the sky, a foreboding harbinger of the trials and tribulations ahead. As Cassandra and Lyrailth race back toward the village, a surge of urgent energy coursed through their limbs, propelling them forward through the vibrant tapestry of Eldergrove. The landscape unfurled around them, a breathtaking canvas coloured in deep emerald greens, where the leaves shimmered in the gentle breeze, and wildflowers burst forth in a spectacular riot of colours, fiery reds, brilliant yellows, and soothing purples. Yet, beneath this vivid beauty lay an unsettling heaviness, hanging in the air, as if the very essence of nature held its breath in shared anticipation. Each hurried footfall resonated with an instinctual fear, wrapped tightly around their hearts, whispering ominously that something was gravely amiss. Upon reaching the village, an entrancing yet horrifying sight confronted them. At the epicenter of a frenzied maelstrom of chaos, Victoria stood, enveloped in a dazzling display of raw magic, a tempest of shimmering, iridescent lights, swirling and crashing around her like a celestial storm, composed of a million tiny stars. Ethereal tendrils of energy twisted and twirled through the air, sparkling like shards of glass caught in sunlight, each flicker concealing a far graver reality beneath the chaotic beauty. The raw energy radiating from Victoria surged violently, sending tremors through the very ground beneath their feet, as though the earth itself trembled in response to a deep, ancient fear. Panic erupted among the villagers, their faces a kaleidoscope of terror and confusion as they scrambled to protect their homes, caught in the vice grip of a world that had transformed into a wild and unpredictable tempest. Trees bent unnaturally, their forms twisting into bizarre contortions as vibrant colors morphed into unsettling shapes, creating a landscape that felt alive yet monstrous. Wailing whispers flitted hauntingly through the air, reminiscent of ghostly echoes from a realm both near and far, stirring primal anxiety within those who heard them, and heightening the already palpable atmosphere of chaos. Cassandra and Lyrailth exchanged a grave, knowing glance, an unspoken understanding, flickering between them that transcended the need for words. In that intense moment, they comprehended that their only hope lay in rallying together to guide Victoria through this perilous torrent of power before her abilities spiraled completely out of control. The village that once stood as their serene refuge now teetered on the brink of extraordinary upheaval, hovering precariously on the edge of catastrophe. As they pushed deeper into the tumult, a deep, ominous rumble resonated from the very core of the earth. The sound reverberated in their bones, deepening their unease and echoing ominously in the recesses of their minds. Zephyr's ancient warning, a somber echo of foresight, loomed over them like a dark, menacing cloud, a grim reminder of malevolent forces lying in wait, poised to strike. A shadowy presence, long believed to be dormant and distant, was now clawing its way back into existence, heralding the approaching storm of chaos. In hushed yet urgent tones, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria exchanged heavy revelations, a weight of implications swirling around them, like the very magic that threatened to consume their village. It was in that fleeting moment of clarity, slicing through the disarray, that they uncovered the root of their ordeal, the Ark, a legendary artifact steeped in myth and whispered lore, was awakening from its age-old slumber, threatening to break free from the binding chains of time and unleash unfathomable powers. With hearts steeled against the encroaching turmoil and a fierce determination igniting within them, the trio resolved to embark on a perilous journey, fraught with unknown dangers. They set out purposefully, intending to locate and secure the Ark before it fell into the hands of dark forces, intent on sending their world devastation. As they departed the village, now a tumultuous haven on the brink of magical upheaval, they cast lingering glances back at the place they called home, their hearts heavy with the burdens of uncertainty, danger, and the ever-looming threat of calamity that lurked just beyond the horizon, waiting with bated breath to be unleashed. As the first light of dawn breaks, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria set out on their perilous journey to find the Ark. The air is thick with tension, and the weight of their mission hangs heavily upon them. They travel through dense forests and across treacherous ravines, their path illuminated by Victoria's newfound magical glow. Their first unexpected ally comes in the form of a mysterious woodland sprite named Whisper, with iridescent wings and eyes that sparkle with ancient wisdom. Whisper offers to guide them through the perilous whispering peaks. As they ascend the misty mountains, the group faces their first true test. A pack of shadow wolves with eyes that glow like embers in the night. Cassandra's enchanted pistols blaze with elemental fury as she fends off the attackers. Lyrailth takes to the sky, her powerful wings creating gusts that blow away the encroaching shadows. Victoria, still struggling to control her powers, manages to create a protective barrier of light that keeps the wolves at bay. The battle is fierce, but they emerge victorious, their bond strengthened by the shared danger. At the summit of the highest peak, they discover an ancient temple carved into the mountain itself. Inside, they find a weathered stone tablet covered in cryptic inscriptions. As Lyrailth deciphers the text, her eyes widen with shock. The prophecy speaks of a child, born of two worlds, with the power to either save or destroy the realm. All eyes turn to Victoria, the weight of destiny suddenly bearing down upon her young shoulders. Meanwhile, the dark force behind the shadow creatures intensifies its attacks on nearby villages. News reaches the group of entire towns being swallowed by darkness. The urgency of their mission becomes painfully clear, and they push forward with renewed determination. As they descend the mountain, Cassandra grapples with the implications of her newly discovered heritage. The power flowing through her veins both exhilarates and terrifies her. In quiet moments, Lyrailth offers comfort and guidance. Their love, a beacon of hope in the growing darkness. Their journey leads them to the echoing caverns, where they encounter a tribe of cave dwellers who have been resisting the shadow creatures for generations. The tribe's elder, a blind seer named Moonshadow, recognizes Victoria's latent power and offers to help her harness it. Over several days, Victoria undergoes intense training, learning to channel her abilities with greater control. However, their respite is short-lived. The dark force, sensing Victoria's growing power, launches a massive assault on the caverns. In the chaos of battle, Lyrailth is forced to make a heart-wrenching choice: stay and protect Victoria, or fly to warn neighboring kingdoms of the impending threat. With tears in her eyes, she chooses the latter, knowing the fate of the world hangs in the balance. The separation takes its toll on the group. Cassandra struggles to fill the role of both protector and mentor to Victoria while dealing with her own evolving abilities. Victoria, feeling the weight of her destiny, pushes herself to the brink in her training, often collapsing from exhaustion. Their journey culminates in a climactic battle at the entrance to the Shadow Realm, a twisted reflection of their own world, as waves of shadow creatures pour forth. Cassandra and Victoria stand their ground, their combined powers creating a dazzling display of light and energy that pushes back the darkness. In the heat of battle, Victoria's powers surge to new heights. Her eyes glow with an otherworldly light as she rises into the air, surrounded by a maelstrom of pure magical energy. With a cry that shakes the very foundations of the realm, she unleashes a blast of power that obliterates the Shadow Army and seals the portal to the Shadow Realm. As the dust settles, Cassandra looks at Victoria with a mixture of awe and fear. The young girl's display of power has hinted at a destiny far greater and more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. The chapter ends with the reunion of Lyrailth, who returns with reinforcements, only to find the battle already won. As the trio embraces, they know that this victory is only the beginning of their journey, and that greater challenges and revelations lie ahead. As the silver moon bathes the village in its ethereal glow, Cassandra finds herself restless, her mind churning with the weight of recent revelations. Unable to sleep, she slips out of bed and wanders to a secluded hilltop, overlooking Elder Grove. There, she encounters Lyrailth, similarly troubled and seeking solace in the night air. The two women sit side by side, their shoulders barely touching, as they gaze out at the sleeping village below. The silence between them is comfortable, filled with unspoken understanding. Slowly, they begin to share their fears and hopes, their voices soft in the stillness of the night. Lyrailth reveals her struggle with her dual nature, dragon and human, and her fear of losing control. Cassandra, in turn, confides her insecurities about her newfound powers and the responsibility they bring. As they talk, their bond deepens, transcending mere physical attraction to something more profound. Their conversation is interrupted by a distant, haunting melody carried on the wind. Intrigued, they follow the sound to its source, a hidden grove where moonflowers bloom, their petals glowing with an otherworldly light. At the center stands Victoria, her eyes closed in concentration as she unconsciously weaves a spell of protection around the village. Watching Victoria's raw power in action, Cassandra and Lyrailth are struck by a mixture of awe and concern. They realize that Victoria's abilities are growing faster than anyone anticipated, and with them, the potential dangers she faces. As the spell concludes, Victoria collapses from exhaustion. Cassandra and Lyrailth rush to her side, cradling her. Between them, in this moment of vulnerability, they silently vow to protect her, no matter the cost. The chapter ends with the three of them walking back to the village, bathed in moonlight. As they near their home, Cassandra and Lyrailth exchange a look filled with newfound determination and a deepening love. They know that whatever challenges lie ahead, they will face them together. As a family, this rewritten chapter enhances character development by exploring Cassandra and Lyrailth's vulnerabilities and strengthening their emotional connection. It also advances the plot by showcasing Victoria's growing powers and the potential risks they pose. The chapter ends with a sense of unity and resolve, setting the stage for future challenges and leaving readers eager to see how this newly forged family unit will face the trials ahead. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria venture deeper into their quest to locate the Ark, they stumble upon an ancient underground city hidden beneath layers of rock and forgotten history. The city, a marvel of long-lost architecture, is illuminated by bioluminescent fungi that cast an eerie blue glow across crumbling structures and winding streets. While exploring the ruins, they discover intricate murals depicting the Ark's creation and its true nature as a nexus of immense magical power. These revelations leave them awestruck and slightly terrified at the magnitude of their mission. Their exploration is suddenly interrupted by the emergence of a group of shadow creatures, more organized and menacing than any they've encountered before. Leading them is a powerful necromancer, his face hidden beneath a hood of swirling darkness. He introduces himself as Magika, claiming to serve the dark force behind the recent attacks. A fierce battle erupts in the narrow streets of the underground city. Cassandra's enchanted pistols blaze with elemental fury, while Lyrailth takes to the air in the vast cavern, her wings stirring up ancient dust as she rains fire upon their foes. Victoria, still struggling to control her abilities, creates shields of pure energy to protect her family. As the fight intensifies, Victoria's powers begin to surge uncontrollably. The air around her crackles with raw magical energy, and her eyes glow with an otherworldly light. Suddenly, tendrils of energy shoot from her body, connecting to various points throughout the city. Ancient runes, hidden in the stonework, begin to glow in response. Magika, sensing the connection between Victoria and the city, realizes the true extent of her power. He changes tactics, attempting to capture the young girl instead of defeating the trio. This forces Cassandra and Lyrailth into a defensive position, desperately trying to protect Victoria while fending off the relentless assault of shadow creatures. As the battle reaches its climax, the ground beneath them begins to tremble. The vibrations grow stronger, and chunks of rock fall from the cavern ceiling. The ancient city structures start to shift and move, revealing glimpses of a massive object hidden beneath. With a deafening roar, a colossal structure begins to rise from the depths of the earth. Its surface is a mesmerizing blend of metal and stone, covered in pulsating runes that match those now glowing on Victoria's skin. The trio watches in awe and terror as they realize they're witnessing the partial emergence of the Ark itself. The necromancer Magika, seeing his opportunity slipping away, makes a final desperate attempt to seize Victoria. In the chaos of the rising Ark and the collapsing cavern, Cassandra and Lyrailth must make split-second decisions to ensure their family's safety, while preventing Victoria from falling into enemy hands. As they fight their way to higher ground, they're faced with the breathtaking and terrifying sight of the partially revealed Ark. Its true scale becomes apparent as it continues to rise, dwarfing the ancient city and threatening to break through to the surface world above. The chapter ends with the trio perched on a precipice, watching in stunned silence as the Ark awakens. They realize with growing dread that their actions have inadvertently triggered its emergence. And now they must race against time to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The weight of their responsibility settles heavily upon them as they prepare to face the challenges that lie ahead in their quest to protect the Ark and save their world from the encroaching darkness. As the partially awakened Ark looms ominously above, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria find themselves in a race against time to prevent its power from falling into the wrong hands. They seek refuge in a hidden sanctuary of the Watchers, an ancient order dedicated to protecting the Ark's secrets. Here, they uncover shocking truths about their intertwined destinies and the true nature of Victoria's powers. Cassandra learns that her lineage traces back to the original Watchers, explaining her innate magical abilities, and connection to the Ark. This revelation brings both pride and a heavy burden of responsibility. As she grapples with her role in the unfolding events, Lyrailth confronts her past, discovering that her draconic nature is intrinsically linked to the Ark's creation. She faces the difficult choice of embracing her full dragon form to access ancient memories that could save them all, at the risk of losing her human connection to Cassandra and Victoria. Meanwhile, Victoria undergoes a harrowing ritual to stabilize her burgeoning powers. During this process, she glimpses fragmented visions of possible futures, including one where she becomes a force of destruction. This terrifying prospect shakes her to her core, making her question her place in the prophecy. As they prepare to leave the sanctuary, they're ambushed by magika and his shadow army. In the ensuing battle, Victoria's powers surge uncontrollably, creating a rift in reality that briefly connects their world to the Shadow Realm. Through this rift, they glimpse the true form of the dark entity behind magika, a being of unfathomable power that seeks to use the Ark to merge the realms and plunge everything into eternal darkness. The chapter ends with the trio narrowly escaping, armed with new knowledge, but also burdened by the weight of their destinies. They realize that the fate of not just their world, but multiple realms, rests in their hands as they set out to gather allies for the final confrontation. The partially awakened Ark pulses with ominous energy in the distance, a constant reminder of the ticking clock they face. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria journey to gather allies, they encounter an unexpected figure from Lyrailth's past, her estranged sister, Nyx, a powerful dark dragon. This reunion forces Lyrailth to confront painful memories and unresolved conflicts, testing the strength of her newfound family bonds. Meanwhile, Victoria's powers continue to grow, attracting the attention of both potential allies and dangerous foes. She struggles with the weight of her destiny, torn between her desire for a normal life and the responsibility thrust upon her by the prophecy. Cassandra, grappling with her own evolving abilities, must navigate the complex political landscape of potential allies while protecting her family. She uncovers a hidden faction within the Watchers who believe Victoria's power is too dangerous to exist, forcing her to question who she can truly trust. As they work to build a coalition against the rising darkness, the trio faces a series of trials that test their resolve and push their abilities to the limit. Each challenge brings them closer to understanding the true nature of the Ark and their roles in the coming conflict. The chapter culminates in a tense confrontation with Nyx, where long-buried secrets about the dragon's connection to the Ark are revealed. This revelation not only sheds light on Lyrailth's past, but also provides crucial information about how to control the Ark's power. In the aftermath, the family must reconcile their personal struggles with the larger mission at hand. The chapter ends with a bittersweet moment of unity, as they realize that their greatest strength lies in their bond with each other, even as the shadows of their destiny loom ever larger. As the trio continues their quest to gather allies, they stumble upon an ancient ritual site deep within the heart of the Lost Forest. Here, they encounter a powerful seer who offers Victoria a chance to fully awaken her dormant abilities, but at a terrible cost. The seer reveals that to unlock her true potential, Victoria must sever her emotional ties to Cassandra and Lyrailth, essentially becoming a being of pure magic. This revelation throws the family into turmoil. Victoria is torn between her desire to protect the world and her love for her adoptive mothers. Cassandra and Lyrailth struggle with the possibility of losing their daughter, even as they recognize the importance of her powers in the coming battle. As they grapple with this impossible choice, Malakar's forces launch a surprise attack on the ritual site. In the chaos of battle, Victoria is forced to make a split-second decision that will have far-reaching consequences for both her family and the fate of the world. The chapter ends with a shocking twist. Victoria chooses to undergo the ritual, but as her power surges, she manages to forge a new type of magical bond with Cassandra and Lyrailth. This unexpected development not only preserves their family ties, but also hints at a way to potentially control the Ark without succumbing to its corrupting influence. However, the ritual's massive release of energy acts as a beacon, alerting both allies and enemies to their location. The trio must now race against time to master Victoria's new abilities and secure the alliances they need before Malakar and his Dark Master can strike again. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria race to master Victoria's newfound abilities, they encounter an ancient dragon council hidden deep within a pocket dimension. This council, long thought extinct, holds crucial information about the Ark's true purpose and the nature of the dark force they face. However, their arrival triggers a prophecy that forces the family to confront their deepest fears and make impossible choices. The council reveals that Victoria's unique bond with Cassandra and Lyrailth is the key to unlocking the Ark's power without succumbing to corruption. But to fully activate this potential, each member of the trio must undergo a harrowing trial that will test the limits of their love and trust in one another. Cassandra faces a vision of a future where her growing powers lead her down a dark path, forcing her to choose between her family and the temptation of ultimate control. Lyrailth must confront her past and the dragon she once was, reconciling her dual nature to emerge stronger. Victoria, in turn, must navigate a labyrinth of possible futures, each showing a different outcome of their quest. As they struggle through their individual trials, Malakar launches a devastating attack on their allies, scattering their forces and leaving them isolated. The family must find a way to complete their trials and reunite before all is lost. The chapter culminates in a breathtaking display of unity, as Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria emerge from their trials, their bond stronger than ever. Their combined power creates a shockwave that ripples through reality itself, revealing the true location of the fully awakened Ark. However, this surge of energy also alerts the dark entity to their presence. As the chapter closes, our heroes stand poised on the precipice of the final battle, their newfound strength balanced against the overwhelming odds they face. The fate of multiple realms hangs in the balance as they prepare to confront their destiny. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria prepare for the final confrontation, they discover a hidden realm between worlds, the Veil of Shadows. This mysterious plane holds the key to understanding the dark entity's true nature and potentially defeating it. However, entering the Veil comes with grave risks. The trio must navigate this treacherous landscape, facing physical manifestations of their deepest fears and insecurities. Victoria's powers fluctuate wildly in this realm, forcing her to rely more on her wits and the strength of her bond with Cassandra and Lyrailth. Meanwhile, Cassandra uncovers shocking truths about her ancestry and her connection to the original Watchers, revealing a personal stake in the conflict that goes beyond protecting the world. Lyrailth confronts echoes of her past, including a younger version of herself, that forces her to reconcile with the choices that led her to this moment. As they delve deeper into the Veil, they encounter other lost souls trapped between realms, including Alaric, the young man Cassandra once promised to find. His presence adds a layer of complexity to their mission, and forces Cassandra to confront her past failures. The chapter culminates in a harrowing battle against shadow versions of themselves, pushing their newfound abilities and familial bond to the limit. In the heat of combat, Victoria accidentally tears a rift in the veil, offering a glimpse of the dark entity's true form and its terrifying plan for the Ark. As they escape the veil, forever changed by their experiences, they realize the final battle is closer than they thought. The dark entity, alerted to their presence in the veil, has accelerated its plans. The trio must race against time to rally their allies and confront their destiny, armed with new knowledge, but also burdened by the weight of what they've seen. The chapter ends with a chilling revelation. The upcoming conflict will require a sacrifice from one of them to seal away the dark entity forever. As they stand on the precipice of their greatest challenge, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria must grapple with the possibility that their newfound family might be torn apart by the very destiny that brought them together. As the final battle looms, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria face their greatest challenge yet, the dark entity, now revealed as an ancient being known as Erebus, launches a devastating attack on their stronghold, a hidden fortress nestled within the Whispering Mountains. The sky darkens as swarms of shadow creatures descend upon their defenses, their ethereal forms twisting and writhing in a terrifying dance. Victoria's powers reach new heights as she stands atop the fortress walls, her eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. She unleashes waves of pure energy that obliterate entire legions of shadow creatures. But each burst leaves her weaker and more vulnerable to the corrupting influence of her own magic. Cassandra watches in horror as dark veins begin to spread across Victoria's skin, a visible manifestation of the toll her powers are taking. Meanwhile, Cassandra uncovers a shocking betrayal within their ranks. Zephyr, the enigmatic figure who first revealed their connection to the Ark, is discovered to be a double agent working for Erebus. His betrayal cuts deep, forcing Cassandra to question every piece of information they've relied on throughout their journey. In a tense confrontation, Zephyr reveals that he was coerced by Erebus, who holds his family hostage in the Shadow Realm. Lyrailth faces her own crucible as she confronts a horde of corrupted dragons under Erebus's control. Among them is her sister, Nyx, now a twisted shadow of her former self, torn between her duty to protect the stronghold and her desire to save her sister. Lyrailth makes a heart-wrenching decision. She uses an ancient dragon ritual to absorb Nyx's corrupted essence into herself, freeing her sister, but risking her own sanity in the process. As the battle rages on, the trio retreats to the heart of the fortress, where the partially awakened Ark pulsates with ominous energy. It's here that the true nature of the prophecy is revealed through a series of vivid, shared visions. They learn that the Ark is not just a source of power, but a key to rewriting reality itself. Erebus seeks to use it to merge the Shadow Realm with their world, creating an eternal kingdom of darkness. The visions also reveal a shocking truth. The prophecy speaks not of a single chosen one, but of a trinity: Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria. Each represent a crucial aspect needed to control the Ark: wisdom, strength, and raw power. Only by working in perfect harmony can they hope to stop Erebus and seal the rift between worlds. However, this revelation comes with a terrible price. To fully activate their combined potential, one of them must sacrifice their physical form and become one with the Ark itself. The weight of this knowledge settles heavily upon them as they realize the true cost of saving their world. The chapter ends with a game-changing twist. As Erebus's forces breach the inner sanctum, Victoria steps forward, offering herself as the sacrifice. But before Cassandra or Lyrailth can react, a blinding light engulfs the young girl. When it fades, Victoria stands transformed, her body now a conduit of pure magical energy. She turns to her mothers, her voice echoing with power, and utters a single, chilling sentence: "I am become the Ark." This shocking development leaves Cassandra and Lyrailth reeling, forced to confront the possibility that in saving the world, they may lose their daughter to forces beyond their comprehension. As Erebus's laughter echoes through the chamber, heralding his imminent arrival, our heroes steel themselves for the final confrontation, knowing that the fate of all realms hangs in the balance. In the aftermath of Victoria's shocking transformation, Cassandra and Lyrailth grapple with the consequences of their daughter becoming one with the Ark. As they race to master their newfound Trinity bond, they uncover a hidden chamber within, the fortress that reveals the true origin of the Watchers and their connection to the Ark. This discovery forces Cassandra to confront her heritage and make a difficult choice that could alter the course of the upcoming battle. Meanwhile, Erebus begins his final assault, tearing rifts between realms that threaten to unravel reality itself. The trio must navigate these fractures in space and time, catching glimpses of possible futures and alternate paths that challenge their perceptions and loyalties. Lyrailth, still struggling with the corrupted essence she absorbed from her sister, faces a critical moment where she must choose between unleashing her full draconic power or maintaining her human connection to her family. Her decision has far-reaching consequences for their strategy against Erebus. As the chapter reaches its climax, Victoria's consciousness, now intertwined with the Ark, reaches out across the realms. She connects with other versions of herself from different timelines, each offering a piece of the puzzle needed to defeat Erebus. However, this cosmic awareness comes at a price, as Victoria risks losing her individual identity to the vast knowledge of the Ark. The chapter ends on a cliffhanger, as Cassandra and Lyrailth realize that to save Victoria and stop Erebus, they must undertake a dangerous journey through the fractured realms, facing alternate versions of themselves and confronting paths not taken. As they step into the first rift, the question hangs in the air. Will their love be strong enough to anchor Victoria's humanity in the face of cosmic forces beyond comprehension? As Cassandra and Lyrailth embark on their perilous journey through the fractured realms, they encounter alternate versions of themselves, each representing paths not taken and choices unmade. In a realm where Cassandra never left her original world, they witness the consequences of a life unlived and the power of embracing one's true destiny. Meanwhile, Lyrailth confronts a version of herself that fully embraced her draconic nature, forcing her to reconcile the dualities within her own identity. As they navigate these alternate realities, they gather fragments of ancient knowledge, crucial to defeating Erebus and saving Victoria. However, each realm they visit takes a toll on their mental and emotional states, testing the strength of their bond and their resolve. In a pivotal moment, they encounter a reality where Victoria grew up without their guidance, becoming a formidable but isolated figure. This heart-wrenching experience reinforces their determination to save their daughter and underscores the importance of their unconventional family unit. The chapter culminates in a harrowing escape from a collapsing realm, with Cassandra and Lyrailth barely making it back to their own reality. As they return, they find that time has passed differently, and Erebus's forces have gained significant ground. The chapter ends with the duo racing against time to implement their new knowledge, their experiences having deepened their understanding of themselves and each other. but with the stakes higher than ever before, as Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria ventured forth from the village, their footsteps mingling with the ominous rumble of the earth. A tense silence hung heavy between them. It was Victoria who finally broke the uneasy quiet, her voice trembling, with a mixture of fear and determination. "We cannot falter now," she said, her eyes fixed on the horizon ahead. "The ark must not fall into the wrong hands." Cassandra nodded solemnly, her expression mirroring the gravity of their mission. "Agreed. We must act swiftly before it's too late." Lyrailth, ever the steady presence amidst chaos, spoke next. "We must remain united and trust in each other. Together, we can overcome whatever challenges lie ahead." Victoria's resolve hardened as she turned to face her companions. "I trust in our abilities and in our bond. We will not fail." With renewed determination fueling their steps, they pressed on through the shifting landscape, each passing moment bringing them closer to their destiny. The wind whispered secrets of ancient prophecies, urging them forward with both caution and urgency. As they neared their next destination, a shimmering veil of energy blocked their path, pulsating with a malevolent aura that made their skin prickle. With unease, Cassandra drew her sword, its blade glinting in the eerie light. "We must proceed carefully," she warned. "Danger lurks within that barrier." Lyrailth nodded in agreement. "Let us tread cautiously, for the fate of our world hangs in the balance." Victoria squared her shoulders, steeling herself for what lay ahead. "Together, we will overcome any obstacle. Onward." With a shared nod of determination, they advanced towards the shimmering barrier, ready to face whatever trials awaited them on their quest to secure the ark and prevent catastrophe from befalling their world. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria braced themselves for the daunting journey ahead, a sense of urgency permeated the air. Like a palpable weight, the howling wind carried foreboding whispers that seemed to echo the fears swirling within their minds. "We must act swiftly," Cassandra urged, her voice steady, despite the turmoil around them. "The ark must be contained before it unleashes its full power." Lyrailth nodded solemnly, her emerald eyes reflecting determination. "Agreed. We cannot allow such ancient magic to fall into the wrong hands." Victoria, her expression a mix of fear and resolve, spoke up, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "But how do we even begin to find this legendary artifact? And what exactly are we up against?" Cassandra placed a reassuring hand on Victoria's shoulder. "We will figure it out together. Our bond is our strength, and we will overcome whatever challenges lie ahead." As they ventured further from the village, the landscape grew increasingly surreal, the very fabric of reality seeming to warp and shift around them. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with malevolent intent. "We are entering uncharted territory," Lyrailth remarked quietly, her hand straying to the hilt of her blade. "Stay close and be vigilant." A sudden crackle of energy filled the air, causing them to pause in their tracks. Before them loomed a rift in the very fabric of space, crackling with untamed power. "The ark is close," Cassandra whispered, her voice barely audible over the roaring energy. "This is where our true test begins." With a shared nod of determination, they stepped through the rift, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in their quest to safeguard their world from unimaginable peril. The trio ventured forth, their footsteps echoing against the quaking earth as they navigated through the swirling chaos that threatened to engulf them. Cassandra's voice cut through the tumultuous atmosphere, her words laced with a fierce determination as she addressed her companions. "We must move swiftly. The ark's awakening, heralds a time of great peril for us all. Lyrailth nodded solemnly, her eyes reflecting the gravity of their situation. Agreed. We cannot allow such power to fall into the wrong hands. Victoria, her expression a mix of fear and resolve, spoke up softly. But how do we even find this legendary artifact? And what dangers await us along the way? Cassandra turned to her, offering a reassuring smile amidst the chaos. We will figure it out together, Victoria. Trust in our bond and in your own strength. We will face whatever challenges come our way as one. As they pressed on towards the unknown, the air crackled with volatile energy, and a sense of impending doom loomed ever closer. Suddenly, a haunting whisper filled the space around them, seeming to materialize from the very fabric of the tempest itself. Beware, seekers of the Ark. Dark forces are watching, waiting to seize its power for their own twisted ends. The voice intoned with chilling clarity. Lyrailth gripped her staff tightly, her gaze sharpening with steely resolve. We will not falter in our mission, no matter what shadows lurk in our path. We will face them head on. Victoria took a deep breath, steeling herself for the trials ahead. I trust in us. Together, we can overcome any obstacle that stands in our way. With renewed determination burning bright in their hearts, the trio continued their journey into the heart of the storm, each step bringing them closer to the fateful encounter that awaited them. And as they ventured forth, a sense of unity and unwavering purpose bound them together like an unbreakable shield against the encroaching darkness that sought to consume their world. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria ventured forth into the swirling chaos that enveloped their village, the air crackled with raw energy, sparking fears and uncertainties in their hearts. They moved cautiously through the twisted landscape, their eyes scanning the surroundings for any hint of danger or hidden adversaries. We must find the Ark before it's too late. Cassandra's voice cut through the eerie whispers that danced around them, her tone resolute and unwavering. Lyrailth nodded in agreement, her emerald eyes flashing with determination. Agreed, the fate of our world hangs in the balance, and we cannot afford to falter. Victoria, her powers still pulsating uncontrollably, clenched her fists in frustration. I'll do my best to keep my abilities in check, but I fear I may not be strong enough to withstand the Ark's influence. Cassandra laid a comforting hand on Victoria's shoulder. You are stronger than you realize, Victoria. Together, we will face whatever challenges come our way. As they pressed on towards their unknown destination, the ground shuddered beneath their feet, a stark reminder of the imminent danger that loomed over them. The wind howled mournfully through the twisted trees, carrying with it whispers of ancient prophecies and foreboding warnings. We cannot let fear guide our actions. Lyrailth spoke solemnly, her voice cutting through the turmoil around them. We must stay united and resolute in our quest to protect our world from the darkness that seeks to consume it. With renewed determination burning in their hearts, the trio forged ahead, their bond strengthening with each step, taken towards an uncertain future. The path ahead was fraught with peril and uncertainty, but they knew that as long as they stood together, they would have the strength to face whatever challenges awaited them in their quest to secure the fate of their world. As Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria stand on the precipice of their final confrontation with Erebus, they uncover a hidden chamber within the Ark itself. Here, they face their greatest challenge yet, a test of sacrifice that will determine the fate of all realms. Each must confront a personalized trial that forces them to question their deepest motivations and the true nature of their bond. Cassandra grapples with visions of alternate timelines, where she chose power over love, forcing her to confront her own potential for corruption. Lyrailth faces the spectre of her draconic past, challenging her to reconcile her dual nature once and for all. Victoria, still struggling to maintain her identity while merged with the Ark, must navigate a labyrinth of possible futures, each showing the consequences of her choices. As they progress through their trials, they discover that the Ark's true purpose is not just to seal away darkness, but to maintain the balance between all realms. They learn that to defeat Erebus, they must not destroy him, but rather restore the cosmic equilibrium he has disrupted. The chapter culminates in a heart-wrenching moment where each member of the trio must offer a piece of themselves to the Ark. This sacrifice will amplify their bond, but at a great personal cost. As they make their choice, they feel the boundaries between them blurring, their individual identities merging into a singular, powerful entity. The chapter ends with the trio, now transformed by their sacrifice, stepping out to face Erebus. They are more powerful than ever, but also irrevocably changed. As the final battle looms, they must grapple with the question, in saving the world, have they lost themselves? As the final battle with Erebus looms, Cassandra, Lyrailth, and Victoria face their greatest challenge yet. The merging of realms accelerates, causing reality to fracture around them. They must navigate a landscape of shifting timelines and alternate versions of themselves to reach the heart of the cosmic disturbance. Victoria, still grappling with her newfound Ark powers, discovers she can momentarily stabilize the fractured realities. This ability comes at a great cost, threatening to erase her individual consciousness. Cassandra and Lyrailth must find a way to anchor Victoria's humanity while using her power to their advantage. Meanwhile, Erebus reveals his true form, a being of pure cosmic energy that exists across all timelines simultaneously. To defeat him, the trio must synchronize their actions across multiple realities, requiring perfect trust and coordination. As they battle through the chaos, they uncover a startling truth. Erebus is not the true villain, but a symptom of a greater cosmic imbalance. They realize that to truly save their world, they must restore equilibrium to the entire multiverse. The chapter ends with a heart-wrenching decision. To reset the cosmic balance, one of them must sacrifice their existence across all timelines. As they grapple with this impossible choice, a new thread emerges, a convergence of all the dark versions of themselves from alternate realities, drawn by the cosmic upheaval. The trio must now face not only Erebus, but also the worst versions of themselves, setting the stage for the ultimate test of their bond and their beliefs. Cassandra's voice cut through the chaos like a beacon of determination amidst the swirling tempest. "We cannot falter now," she declared, her eyes ablaze with a fierce resolve that ignited a spark of hope within her companions. Lyrailth nodded in agreement, his expression grim, yet unwavering. "Indeed, we must act swiftly before the darkness consumes us all." Victoria, her hands trembling with the raw power surging through her, spoke softly, but with a steely determination that belied her fear. "I will not let this power control me. We must find the Ark and contain it before it's too late." The trio exchanged a solemn glance, their shared mission binding them together in a fragile alliance forged by necessity. Each step they took toward their destiny seemed to resonate with the weight of their burden, the urgency of their quest palpable in every heartbeat. As they pressed on through the tumultuous landscape, the very air crackling with unrestrained magic, Cassandra's voice rang out once more, cutting through the eerie whispers that surrounded them. "Stay vigilant, my friends. We are all that stands between our world and oblivion." With each word spoken, their resolve solidified like steel. Tempered in the fires of adversity, the journey ahead was fraught with peril and uncertainty. But together, they would face whatever lay in wait, armed with courage, born of desperation, and a bond that transcended mere companionship. And so, guided by the flickering light of hope, amidst the encroaching darkness, they ventured forth into the unknown, their fate intertwined with the ancient power, awakening to reshape their world forevermore.